Sandrim's the map. 24409 is the build. AirMech Sandrim, Singularity, rabbitrage, Sandwich 4, and FriskyCow are the players. Players with a capital P-L-A-Y-A-Z. With just about 10 seconds to kick off, it doesn't look like there's going to be the mid... Actually, okay, I take that back. It looks like Red is going to make the mid push. But you don't see that in every game the way that you used to. And I don't know why, because it's not like it's gotten less strategic over the years. Actually, okay, there is, in fact, a total push for mid from both sides. Sanguinius and rabbitrage going up against Sandwich, just kind of rolling on the solo creep. Roughly equivalent forces. FriskyCow dogfighting does take Sandwich 4 down. Redhead grabs that power station for about 2 seconds before it goes gray, and Orange grabs it. It's a big old cluster fuck of tanks. Rage pulls out the sword and gets to work. And after the smoke clears, it looks like Orange is going to hang on to it. Both sides with a little bit of troop strength devoted to the corners. And great players think alike. Both sides deploying shooters to thin out these neutral hordes. Other than that, not a whole hell of a lot of unusual activity. Both teams going for their respective outposts. Red grabs theirs. Orange, quick to follow. Red takes this, and FriskyCow and Sanguinius are right there on the scene to try and take it away from them. And they do. Or at least they neutralize it. Sanguinius tries to get away. Unable to flee the scene of the crime, FriskyCow does get away. rabbitrage takes it and then gets taken down by a hat. Singularity and AirMech on the case. And they make short work of that factory. Sang with a call out, rolling in with 3 dudes. Decides not to stick around as the entire Red force is there, popping out units. Oh, look at this. Zipper raid. It's a favorite play of mine, and it is good for neutralizing, as this one does. rabbitrage gets the smoke coming off of that moneymaker and decides to not go all the way with it. Orange with a pretty valiant attempt at wresting control of this from the red team, but when it's all said and done, it looks like they will hang on to it. AirMech does make a steal. Sanguinius now throwing some snowballs at that main. Sandwich trying to micro those moneymakers. Moneymakers is what they're called. I promise you guys, someday I will learn how to play this game and what the things are in it. There you go. That tank just blew up. You needed me to tell you that. It looks like Sanguinius has got something planned, and it involves dumping a couple of Longhorns behind these Geminis. Singularity gets behind them, and there's just a whole lot of hitting it from the back. I said in my last game I wasn't going to make any hitting from the back jokes. I didn't say I wasn't going to make any, but I said I was going to cut back on them, and so far, 0 for 2. Up north. Some shit going on. AirMech screwing around with fucking Seekers. Looked like FriskyCow was trying to make a move on this, and AirMech picked him up and disallowed it. Peep game on this. Red with a split. You see this more and more, where dudes will, by mistake or by design, send half of their dudes. Yeah, saying Singularity wanted all of them to go here. Some of them split off, and we're going to go for the main. We want to get this neutralization, and it doesn't look like it's really happening. Back up here. Zippers. Lighting up Red's main. They will get taken down by these eventually. But a pretty decent chunk of... I have a hard time believing all of that was done by Zippers, but maybe it was. I know, I should know these things. Orange now trying to make some inroads here. Actually, if I'm Orange, I'm going to give these players some advice on how to play. From the depths of my pro knowledge. I think my ELO is about 300 points worse than the worst guy here. But I'm going to give them advice anyway. If I'm Orange, I'm getting all three dudes together and just hitting this. But maybe with all this shit that Red is pulling on them, they're having a hard time pulling themselves away. A few Jackals head for Orange's main. Go in on that moneymaker, quickly take it out. FriskyCow on the scene, chopping through him with that sword. Meanwhile, areyouwhy making these periodic little runs over to mid and scooping up Orange's tanks. That's something you gotta watch out for when there's a dude rolling with a saucer on the other team. It's kind of a pain in the ass because you have to have air support with everything always. Otherwise, this kind of shit happens. And one saucer winds up converting happier fucking shit. Speaking of shit that got fucking converted, Sanguinius rolls some tanks in, neutralizes this outpost, and even though Sandwich shows up with a few infantry guys, it gets negated like that. With all these tanks, they're not going to be able to hang on to it. In fact, Orange already with 2 Berthas on the scene as well. Sandwich organizes a little bit of a push. Sends a few tanks at... Yeah, dropping a couple guys in at a time isn't going to be the way to make this happen. Although, ultimately, it does wind up being the way to make it happen, kind of. Sandwich is able to build up his force to be roughly equivalent to what Orange has got there. Although Orange does make that grab. areyouwhy hits this factory from the back with that evil eye. Just drilling it. And he's almost spent. He might not survive this. He's probably going to try and commit Harry Carry and or just charge his fucking dude back up. Barely lives to tell the tale. But this is still a problem for Red. In fact, this whole fucking map is a problem for Red. Except for this, which is just fun for areyouwhy to go and steal all their dudes. A few Red Jackals head in. I don't know if this is gonna do what Red would like it to do. At mid, areyouwhy makes another run, and I don't know if he stole that tank or what. I do know rabbitrage is building up there, is rebuilding what was stolen, and he's rebuilding it with the same shit that areyouwhy stole. Does decide to back it up with a Seeker this time. Sandwich trying to hold Orange off, and oh, that's like what? 4 hats right there. A couple of Berthas. And you can see how quickly he gets chewed up when he tries to get near. Golly, someday I'll learn English. The upswing for him is that moving in with these tanks is a pretty effective way of chomping through these. Sanguinius does drop a couple of Longhorns behind them, though, and at the same time, rolls in with what Orange, I'm sure, is hoping it's going to be the knockout punch. And it may well be, as Red has nothing down. Let's see what happens. Sandwich is there. Issuing the call-out. Singularity shows up. RUI also. And now it's all about this main. Red, ooh, they are bleeding a bit. This might do it. Those hats are not going to permit anybody to get in close enough. And it only takes a few Longhorns to finish off Red's fortress.
Prepare for battle.
I fucking will.